Just getting my odometer ready here. We're starting at 90, 94 for my oxygen today. And let's get going. Get my 15 minutes in for the day. It's been a busy couple of days. My husband's been getting ready to go on the road and just getting things in order, and it gets busy. I got busy, and I guess I put the wrong date in. I was going to meet with some of the ladies that I've worked with over the last 5 years. In our room, we become quite a team. You work through a lot of difficult situations, and if you don't work together, things kind of fall apart. So you need to rely on one another, trust each other. And so not being a part of that the last almost 7 months has been difficult. People have been good to, text, and when I run into them, chat. But everyone's lives are busy, and so anyways, we had the plan to get together, and I had put the wrong date in my calendar, and so I got a text. I got my husband ready, and he got out the door, and I saw the text, and I think I was like I was for sure over an hour late. I missed one of the ladies. Got to hug another on the way out, but I threw a sweater on and a hair clip and a pair of earrings and headed out the door. And it was nice to reconnect. I didn't realize, for me, how emotional it would be to see those people. But it was quite emotional. But it was just so nice to catch up and just hear about everyone else's lives, and everyone kind of started to head out, and a few of us ladies were left to the bitter end, and we just started to talk about what it's like to have family members in the hospital, and myself in the hospital, what it's like to, over the last couple of years, to not be able to see people that you love, and lose people that you love and not be able to go and see them. And it brought up some things for me. I had a number of things that happened when I was in the hospital that really aren't anyone's fault. Everyone is doing the best that they can, but things happen. And this isn't to place blame or make people feel bad, but I don't even know where to start. It was quite emotional. I ended up chatting with my neighbor and about the same thing, and realizing that, the hospital staff is honestly doing the best that they can, and there's no one trained for dealing with what's happened the last couple of years. And so I had some people that were, they specialize in hearts or specialize in trauma, and then being down with COVID patients and just not really, knowing necessarily what to do. Honestly, my pride is gone. It's a little bit shameful, a little bit stressful to even talk about. But honestly, I was left naked on a commode chair in the middle of the room with people walking by. I had windows down the side of my room. Often the shades weren't drawn, and I was floor level with people walking by. And for anyone that knows me, I'm a pretty modest person. And so I think for anybody, it's difficult. I had one time where the girl bent kind of my bed like this, and I leaned over one side, my head and my body on the other side, and she stripped me and cleaned me, and I could again see people walking by outside. Just not a lot of dignity in that. And like I said, I realized that everyone's doing the best that they can, but it's been hard to think about that random strangers got to see me and still be okay, okay with that, or come to terms with that. And even some of the stuff that is done, there's some wonderful women that just had to say, like, hey, I need to know ahead of time. I have abuse in my past, and I need to be able to kind of work through these things, just to take that time. There's many of them that did, and I'm very thankful. Very thankful for the thoughtfulness in the craziness, and again, makes me reflect on how to be better, and remember that with people, to be respectful of their privacy in those situations, and just in general. Even with my kids, as things happen in their life, like, I realize that it's not my place to tell their story, and not my place to it's their place, and just to respect that about other people. Not to share things that are not mine. They don't belong to me. They're not for me to share. I mean, sometimes we all do, out of concern for people sometimes that we care about. But it's been a process to work through some of those things for me, and just kind of let it go, and again realize that I'm here, I'm working through it, and it's hopefully only going to get better, not get worse. But yeah, some of those things take time, and they come up, and I guess I didn't realize how raw it still was until they came up last night and this morning, and I was able to share them. But again, like I said before, like, keeping it to myself hasn't benefited me. It's made me feel kind of ashamed, and embarrassed, and it's not my fault. So I'm just being honest and open about it. By no means am I trying to tell people, anyone, how to deal with it, but this is just my process of how I'm coping and pushing forward and just trying to have resilience through this time, and not just for me, but for my kids, for my family. It kind of gives me those things to strive for. Whew. I'm just about 11 minutes in. I probably shouldn't have wore a sweater. Oh, my oxygen's at 97 and my beats per minute is 136. I remember doing exercise with a Fitbit and how long it and how much effort it took to get my heart rate up to 140, and now I'm just riding at a level 3 and huffing and puffing. Well, there I am. I'm at 142. I have to say it was a cold one this morning for me. I'm a bit of a wuss. I'm from an island, and it does not get this cold there. And I know people say you adjust, but it's been a bit of a struggle the last 10 years with this weather. And I have to admit, going outside today, even just scraping the windows on the car, by the time I was done, I wanted to take a nap. And I wouldn't have thought twice before about those things. But I think it was negative 13, which isn't actually that cold here. But must have had a little moisture in the car because I had to scrape the outside and some of the inside. So, whew. So to me, that's a cold day. And then, so yeah, I dropped my 2 off at school, headed to get some gas. And when I came home, I was excited to bother my neighbor friend who was out working so hard, shoveling. But it was nice to kind of touch base and just be real. I find so often we just kind of say, oh good, I'm good. Not that it always has to be bad and down, but it's nice to have people in your life that you can just have that honesty with. So I got that last night, and I got that a little bit this morning. I will say it's been nice to not have to wear a mask, just to see some smiles and people's reactions to things. But it's definitely nice to see people's full faces. I know I was chatting with someone the other day, and they were like, oh, but it makes life so much easier. You don't have to worry about how you look. So I guess that kind of a downside. I found my mouth and everything got dry, and so I don't think I'll miss it. And with sometimes having difficulty breathing, especially if it's stuffy, a mask makes it worse. So I should be able to enjoy a few more things. But coming to the end here, there's my 15 minutes. And yeah, that was, like I said, a bit of an embarrassing, shameful share for me. But I do think getting it out and into the open, and it's not a blame thing, it's just how I'm getting through it. Being honest about what actually happened instead of brushing it off and making it like everything's okay when not everything is okay. So again, thanks for coming on this 15-minute journey with me. Hope you have a good day. Bye.